Hello students, today I'll explain you the fifth poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, written by Adrienne Rich. Adrienne Rich was an American poet and she is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and a theorist. In the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, the poet writes about the issues of male dominance and the struggle of women in the male dominating society. She also talks about her desire to live life in her own terms. Aunt Jennifer, who is the protagonist of the poem, is a symbol of women all over the world. Women who are always oppressed in the male dominating society. So let's see the poem. I'll read the first stanza. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Before I explain, there are a few difficult words. I would like to tell you their meanings. In the first line, the word prance means to walk energetically. In second line, topaz is a yellow stone and denizens means the animals of a particular area. Here, the tigers refer to the denizens of forest. Sleek in line 4 means graceful and chivalric means brave or confident. So, the poet says that Aunt Jennifer's tigers are prancing or moving across through the forest. The poet describes them as bright colored as that of a yellow topaz, and they are the free creatures of the green forests. These tigers are not scared of men who are standing under the tree, and they are moving gracefully with elegance and confidence. Actually, in these lines, the poet wants to tell us that Aunt Jennifer's tigers are not the real tigers. They are the images or the imaginary tigers created by the poet. Aunt Jennifer, who has always experienced her life to be an oppressed one at the hands of patriarchal society, male dominating society, and she creates in her own art a different kind of a world which she imagines, a world of freedom. Aunt Jennifer, who had never been free in the patriarchal society, in the male dominating society, she imagines a world where women can be free. So these tigers represent such a world of her dreams. Aunt Jennifer is a woman like all other women of the world. She is a woman who desires to live a free life, free of oppression by the male dominating society, a society that has always governed her life. Her tigers represent fearless creatures, and she wants to express a woman in the form of her tigers who is free of all the oppressions of a married life. Aunt Jennifer, being a married woman, had always experienced herself to be oppressed. So she wants that women should be free, and then she imagines a world where women can be free just like her tigers are. Now here's the second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. In these lines, the poet expresses that how difficult it is for a woman to be free of all the oppressions and the responsibility of her married life. Here she says that Aunt Jennifer is creating the images of beautiful tigers using wool, but it is very hard for her to pull even the ivory needle, and she is so much depressed and oppressed carrying the weight of the wool. Her fingers are fluttering. Fluttering means trembling. So her fingers flutter, tremble when she makes the images using the wool and is unable to carry or pull the ivory needle. This shows that how oppressed she is. The uncle's wedding band, Aunt Jennifer's husband's wedding band, seems to be very heavy on her hand. This shows that she has always experienced the responsibilities of her married life to be a burden. She has never been free to live her married life the way she wanted, but she always lived it the way uncle wanted. So now, in this age, it has become a burden upon her to live such a life. In these lines, the poet actually wants to convey that a woman throughout her life takes care of her married life, takes care of the tigers of her life, that is, her husband. But a time comes when the bond of marriage becomes a burden on her, and the same is the situation in Aunt Jennifer's life. I'll read the last stanza to you. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Here are a few difficult words, children. In the second line of the stanza is a word ringed, means tied. Another word is ordeals in the same line, which means unpleasant experience. And in the third line of this stanza is the word panel, which means a flat board upon which Aunt Jennifer is creating her tigers. So in these lines, the poet says that even death will not be able to release Aunt Jennifer from the oppression that she had undergone throughout her life. Even though she will die, but she will never be free of the unpleasant experience of her married life. Even after her death, she will be tied with her unpleasant moments, unpleasant experiences, or the unpleasant story of her life. She will never be free of her because that was the situation in which she lived throughout. Although the tigers created by her will be forever, they will be eternal, they will never die, and they will always walk in a proud manner and an unafraid manner. They will keep on prancing in the imaginary world in which she is creating them. In this stanza, maybe the poet wishes to convey a message that the tigers created by women are created by herself only. She herself is responsible for the situations that she has created in her life. She has made her husband dominating. She has made these tigers dominating. And it's only the woman can break or can be free from such situations. One more thing that the poet wishes to convey is that the life Aunt Jennifer had been living, dominated by her husband, is now she is difficult to live in the same situation any longer. And now she longs to free from this male dominance, and she wants to live a life in which she can prance, she can move, she can behave, she can think freely and confidently like the tigers that she is designing. So, in this poem, we can see that Aunt Jennifer's tigers are the symbol of strength, fearlessness, and confidence. And these tigers express the desire of Aunt Jennifer to live a life free of female exploitation.